Right, as usual, we're going to start by just running through all the headlines that are making top stories this morning. We're going to begin with the Vanguard newspaper, and it says Tinubu saved Nigeria from economic bleeding. Doing on this one, Tinubu saved Nigeria from economic bleeding. That's in Vanguard newspaper. Now, moving forward to, still on Vanguard, it says rethink reform strategies. IMF advises Nigeria. Rethink reform strategies. IMF advises Nigeria. That's still on Vanguard newspaper. And on Punch, it reads, NNPCL admits challenges delaying Port Harcourt refinery takeoff. That's on Punch. NNPCL admits challenges delaying Port Harcourt refinery takeoff. That's on Punch newspaper. Still on Punch, Senate to approve Tinubu's $2.2 billion loan request today. Senate to approve Tinubu's $2.2 billion loan request today, and that's in Punch newspaper. On Tribune, Nigeria needs individual character remolding, not electoral reform. Nigeria needs individual character remolding, not electoral reform. Lagos Monek on this one, and that's in Tribune, a newspaper this morning. And on Vanguard, Okpebholo declares war on cultism as killings continue. Okpebholo declares war on cultism as killings continue. That's in Vanguard newspaper. And on The Nation, it reads, ICPC tracks 610 billion naira constituency projects in 21 states, including the FCT. ICPC tracks 610 billion naira constituency projects in 21 states. Plus the FCT. That's on The Nation newspaper this morning. Still on The Nation, APC will win more states in future, says party chieftain. APC will win more states in future, says party chieftain. That's on The Nation newspaper. And on Punch, Boko Haram kills 5 soldiers, burns military trucks in Borno state, or in Borno attack. Boko Haram kills 5 soldiers, burn military trucks in Borno attack, and that's on Punch a newspaper. That's all of the headlines that we're going to be looking at this morning. And as usual, we're going to be taking the news stories one at a time. Okay, welcome back. Let's just begin the stories properly this morning. Let me just roll out the call lines again. 0901-615-0614, that's on WhatsApp, and 0808-704-1217. Let's begin with what's on Punch newspaper this morning. And the headline reads, NNPCL admits challenges delaying Port Harcourt refinery takeoff, and that's on Punch. Let's look into the main stories. The Nigerian National Petroleum Commission has finally spoken out about the delays in completing the Port Harcourt Refinery Company, a project that has been plagued by setbacks and missed deadlines. Now, according to Olufemi, the NNPC's Chief Corporate Communications Officer, the company encountered unforeseen risks and challenges while carrying out the rehabilitation, which is a common issue with brownfield projects of this scale and complexity. Now, despite challenges, so Lufemi assured that the issues have been resolved and commissioning activities have resumed, with work being carried out around the clock to ensure the project's completion. However, when asked about a timeline for completion, Mr. Lufemi gave a vague answer saying shortly, which has left many Nigerians skeptical given the NNPC's history of missing deadlines. In fact, this is not the first time the NNPC has missed a deadline for the Port Harcourt refinery. refinery. The project has been delayed 7 times, with the most recent promise of completion being September 2024, which came and went without any update from the NNPC. Now, the refinery, which has been in operation since 1965 but has been moribund for several years, is crucial to Nigeria's plans to refine its crude oil and end the importation of refined products. Now, the delays have not only affected the country's economy, but also raised concerns about transparency and accountability. The contractor handling the project, Mary Technipoint SPA, has refused to disclose the completion date, citing it's a private company not bound by the Freedom of Information Act. Now, with the NNPC's latest assurance of completion shortly, Nigerians can only hope that this time will be different. Now, good morning, Kirby. Good morning, Mr. Sele. Mr. Sele, good to have you. We missed you yesterday, by the way. Good morning, Mr. Sele. Good to have you. Good morning, Kirby. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. I think that the stories that we're going to look through this morning are pretty interesting. And we're starting off with NNPCL, and they have come to admit that there's been challenges delaying the Port Harcourt refinery takeoff. Every other time that we have a conversation regarding PMS, crude oil, refineries, what we keep saying is that we need the government to pay attention to resuscitating the dilapidated refineries, and so far so good. We've been seeing a lot of back and forth with the Port Harcourt refinery takeoff. Now, NNPCL have come out to say, okay, you know what? There's been delays, right? There's been setbacks. There's been missed deadlines. So they are coming out to be open about it, all right? But they're not telling us exactly what is causing the delays, exactly about what is causing the missed deadlines. But let me look at them coming out now to say, okay, you know what? These issues, we're already resolving them. In fact, it's been resolved and commissioning activities have resumed. But we're asking for a timeline for completion. I mean, you should be aware of maybe a time frame for completion, and the answer that they are giving is shortly. Now, Nigerians I don't know how Nigerians, are accepting this, because I mean, there's been deadlines, there's been back and forth with this. Now, coming out and saying shortly, it's not something to really hold on to.
Initially I was thinking that this is actually a rocket science. Getting a refinery to work, I thought it wasn't going to be possible in Africa or in Nigeria. But when Dangote single individual did it, I was like, okay, so it's not a rocket science per se. It is doable. But the whole federal government could not. And still is not even sure of when they can do that of Port Harcourt. Is it not a shame? What an individual came out to do. When did Dangote start his project? How many years did it take him? How many years have we been on this Port Harcourt refinery?
And it's not as if we're starting from the scratch.
It's not like we're starting from scratch. It's from scratch. It's a refinery that has been in operation before. It's just to rehabilitate it. But definitely people who are I keep saying this. People who enjoy, as in who make fortune when we suffer, they won't want us to not to suffer. Even if you are the one, will you want to take away what brings food on your table? No. If suffering of Nigerians is what put food on their tables, definitely we have to suffer. And they will make sure we keep suffering.
Yeah. So Mr. Sele, we're looking at the fact that this project has been delayed 7 times. 7 times. And now, this recent promise that, there was a recent promise that was going to be completed in September 2024, where we're almost the last lap of the year. The year has 2024 is, in fact, as far as we're concerned, there are people who have started their 2025 already.
Victory. So right? you still want to hold, you still want to be hopeful of their promises. No, you still want to believe that this is our Nigeria.
Yeah, because the last promise was September 2024.
Don't disappoint me.
And we don't have any new dates.
My day, as far as I'm concerned, there won't be a date. Even if they give you dates, it still won't work. Because the truth is, they see, look at what is happening in a lot of other sectors. Things working the way it should be. I was discussing with a colleague yesterday, and he was like, that to solve Nigerian problem doesn't take a weird person, somebody who have a strong will. It doesn't take more than a year. That in fact, the moment we automate a lot of processes in Nigeria, our issue is solved 90%. But they won't want to do it. If they automate it, how will brown envelopes fly? No, that is the truth. So how will I have as in somebody who was telling me that this just that you don't do transfer and you don't pay in naira. I won't go in details. But there are places where on a daily basis brown envelopes are flying in foreign currencies. So if things begin to work, those brown envelopes will reduce. So things cannot work, my dear.
So Kirby, now according to the chief corporate communications officer, of NNPC, he has come out to say shortly. What do you think we can make out of that shortly?
I like the fact that Mr. Celeste said you still have faith, because Nigerian.
We have to believe in something. For crying out loud.
What are you believing in when you know the country that you are in, how they delay things? See, if not because Dangote refinery came out and it's because it's private, it's owned by somebody who is into business, I don't think Nigeria will be having a refinery anytime soon, because the ones we have, we're not even working towards it. Each time they want to work towards it, they come up with excuses. And there was the news that they said, is it South Korea to want to also build refineries too in Nigeria? You see, people are even coming in to even make promises on top of the one we don't have. It's not like we don't have it, but they are not working towards it. So what he's saying, I don't have faith in it coming up anytime soon, because that's one thing these people know how to do. They come out, they tell you they have intentions of doing this, and at the end of the day, they don't do it. Just like Mr. Salah said, if we have the right people on seat, then that's when you see Nigeria don't have problem.
We don't have it.
We don't have problem.
Our problem does not take more than one person to solve.
Just have all our sectors working. You will see how peaceful. You will see how everybody is working towards their own achievement. But since we don't have all sectors working, that's why you see how Nigerians are suffering.
And that as far as the economic progress of Nigeria is concerned, this refinery is crucial.
It is.
It is very crucial. And also, when we're talking about the survival of the average Nigerian, making sure that our refineries are working is very crucial.
Yes.
Because it's the only sector.
One of the major things that is really going to do is ending importation of refined products. Because this one that Ipman and other marketers are saying, okay, you know what, we're not going to import again. We're going to, buy from Dangote. We don't know what the future holds and what is going to unfold.
If we depend only on Dangote, that is monopoly. And it's very dangerous to the economy.
That's monopoly. That's on one side. But again, we don't even know what the future holds. They might have issues tomorrow. People at the top, we
yes.
Look at the back and forth, that we had before they even decided to lift fuel from the Dangote refinery. Right, so even now, say that okay, you know what, we've settled with Dangote, we're going to be lifting fuel from the Dangote refinery. We don't know what the future holds.
We are not
Tomorrow,
sure.
They might have an issue or a misunderstanding, business people and their thing, and they'll decide to go back to importing.
So the thing is, let's tell ourselves the truth. It will take. I'm not sure if this present administration is ready for what Nigeria deserves, or what Nigeria needs now. If they are ready, their days in office is enough to have seen positive moves in some directions that we expected. There are a lot of things that need urgent attention. Just like you keep saying, Nigeria is supposed to be in ICU. If it is in hospital, they should be in ICU now, in emergency unit. State of emergency need to be declared.
Oh my God!
Any loving president of this country should see it as an urgency. Where we are now need deliberate actions. Yes, we are going to hurt a lot of people. People will feel bad, just like what we are seeing currently on the people complaining about hardship. It will come, but let it be in the right direction. Let's suffer it once and for all and get to where we're supposed to be.
I think that since don't come for me, But I think that since, NNPC first has, because I mean, there's been silence, right? But they've come out now to say, okay, you know what? We were experiencing challenges, but at the time, we're fixing things and, commissioning activities have resumed. The only problem we have is that there's no timing to it. They're still saying shortly. But let's just be hopeful that before you know what is happening. Or maybe that's even the good news that we're going to use to start 2025. Mr. Sele, what do you think?
Hopefully, but not in Nigeria.
Mr. Sele, be calming down.
Be
Be calming down. Maybe that's going to be our New Year gift, you guys. Maybe as we're just entering into 2025, you will tell us where the Port Harcourt refinery is ready.
The one
Fuel price has reduced.
It has crashed down to 500 per liter.
Vicky, then when it's ready, then they will not give you excuse that maybe one side, the part of the machine is no longer working. They need to change
See
some
possibilities,
certain things.
Kevi, see
I'm
possibilities.
seeing it, but welcome to Nigeria. Then I say we need 1 point something trillion to fix that part. Then it will not delay again for another year.
Talking about trillions and billions, let's move over to Punch. Now, Senate to approve Tinubu's $2.2 billion loan request today. Let's look at this story properly. President Bola Tinubu has requested the Senate's approval for a $2.2 billion loan to help finance Nigeria's 2024 budget deficit, estimated at 9.7 trillion. Now, this loan is part of the external borrowing plan outlined in the 2024 Appropriation Act and has been approved by the Federal Executive Council. Now, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio has tasked the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debts to review the request and report back within 24 hours. In addition to the loan request, Tinubu has also submitted the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper for 2025 and 2027, or 2025 to 2027, to the Senate and House of Representatives. The proposed 2025 budget is 47.9 trillion, with key parameters including a $75 oil price benchmark per barrel, daily oil production of 2.06 million barrels, an exchange rate of 1,400 to a dollar, and a targeted GDP growth rate of 6.4%. Now, Tinubu has also forwarded the Social Investment Program Amendment Bill to the National Assembly, and this is aiming to strengthen the framework for implementing social welfare programs and ensuring greater transparency and efficiency. The amendment seeks to designate the National Investment Register as the primary tool for targeting beneficiaries of social investment initiatives and making welfare programs more data-driven and effective in providing social protection. The Senate has referred the bill to relevant committees for review, with deliberations expected in subsequent sessions. This move underscores the Tinubu's administration's commitment to leveraging technology and data to optimize the impact of its social welfare initiatives. If passed, the amendment is expected to improve the management and delivery of social investment programs, enhancing their capacity to combat poverty and inequality across the country. Now, we're looking at, loan requests. When I saw this news earlier this morning, Kebi, you remember the question that I asked? Let me even ask Mr. Sele. Has there been any time that, a loan request was made and it was not approved by the Senate? Has there ever been?
I don't think it is in this country. I've never seen. Why won't they approve it?
This loan, Kebi, you remember how we read about the loan that they are seeking for 2025?
Budget.
I think it's in trillion also.
It's in trillion.
I think it's in trillion also. And that is aside. Now, this 2.2 billion naira loan request that the president is asking.
$2.2 billion.
$2.2 billion loan request that the president is asking for is for 2024 budget deficit to finance it. That's apart from the loan that we're going to also get for 2025. And when we had that conversation, people were calling in to say, why are we still, borrowing when the money that we're borrowing, we're not even seeing the impact in any sector at all?
I keep asking myself, as in, how will we continue like this? So this government comes, borrow to fund budget, budget to do what? Lagos Ibadan Express we have kept occurring in the budget since I was a child. Up to today, they are still doing that road. a lot of other projects. Is it that the engineers, the contractors that submitted proposals for such contracts, they underestimated? Or why do we keep borrowing to fund budgets, items in the budget that have kept reoccurring over the years? We borrow to misappropriate. We borrow to I don't know.
Mr. Sele, this one you be asking, don't we have things that are working for us in Nigeria here to fence those kind of things?
Like if there's any sector that is bringing in
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of money.
bringing a lot of money.
That is, I just calculated from crude oil alone with 2.06 million barrels per day at 75,000 dollars. In a year, we are making about close to 80 trillion naira. How much is our budget? How much is our budget for the year?
And you know, part of the things that I even have an issue with sometimes when a budget is released is, you know, how it's delegated to different sectors, and how that we see that some sectors that are supposed to be prioritized, we see the amount of money that is allocated to them, and you see that by the end of an entire year, that budget does nothing for them.
That is it.
We're looking at the security, we're looking at health, we're looking at education.
My dear, with what we have, you know, the other day I was talking about, we have a lot of things, a lot of mineral deposits, a lot of avenue to generate money internally to boost our GDP. But this present government is not looking in that direction. All they know how to do is to borrow and borrow. Recently the Prime Minister of India was here now, and I told you why he came.
Long-term relationship for oil's sake,
so that they can. So all this borrowing is because those countries, they know that we have crude oil. So they are not like whether we should. They know we have the money. So why can't we look inward, what we have, manage it? All we need, just like what I said.
Kevin, you remember?
All we need is somebody with a political will to do the right thing in this country.
You remember that news that we took that day about the amount of money that Nigeria is owing, that if you split it among over 200 million Nigerians, that every one person is owing over 600,000. Even a newborn baby right now is owing over 600,000. And I was asking, how much is your minimum wage?
That is it.
Oh my God! This is where we're seeing ourselves. You know, a lot of countries, you know, get loans.
Yes,
the problem is not even in.
It's not getting loans. Even the most developed countries, they take loans. I was discussing with somebody the other day on another platform, and we were comparing, like a country like US. If you check their debt profile, Nigeria is just learning where they are. But you see the effects of the borrowing. You see
what are you using
you see
the
that
money
if they borrow, they are borrowing to build, not to eat. But here we borrow.
So it makes that there's return.
There is a return on the yes. If you borrow and you, let's say for instance you borrow, okay, they want to borrow $2.2 billion. If they borrow and let's say they invest $1 billion out of it into something that returns, let's say 100 million or so on a monthly basis. Before you know it, as in the return on that 1 billion will take care of servicing the loan. And whatever they want to do with the other one, we won't have the effect.
And you know that, Mr. Sele, experts have also talked about how that there needs to be a lot of investment in the ability for Nigeria to import more than always exporting. And we keep
to export.
To export,
more than always. Yes, I said it the other day now.
More than always importing. And you know, we talked about agriculture. We talked about how that, you know, Nigerians are capable. We are very creative people. We just need funding.
All we need is funding. All we need is empowerment.
And it makes that if, as a country, there's something that we're known for, you know, exporting, and other countries are buying from us, we're going to see significant improvement with, you know, our dollar and naira struggle.
I was in a meeting recently with the Oil Palm Growers Association of Nigeria, and the man was almost crying.
Bitter.
He was bitter. He asked their president. He was like, somebody is requesting for their product, but he couldn't get it in Nigeria. One person the one person's demand, the whole of them, the whole farmers that grows that are in that category cannot supply one person's request. And we are talking of millions of dollars. Imagine this government have empowered people in agriculture, and maybe a set of people are known to be producing in excess. There is nothing you produce in Nigeria today that doesn't have market out there. There is nothing, virtually nothing. And there is no amount you produce that will be enough out there.
Did you know that individual businesses in Nigeria have even found a way to export things like even food?
Yes.
Cooked food.
Yes, I know.
From here,
yes.
outside.
Outside, yes. I know. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of things we have here
Imagine
that
some
they
of these
can't
things
get
are
in places
done
like
in large
US.
scale.
Yes, there are things we have here that they can't get in places like US. For example, I've been there was a time we wanted to go into it. In my former place, my boss wanted to go into it, but just like what I say, what discouraged small businesses, the cost of transporting it there and the logistics you pay, you find out that it doesn't make sense. But it is on a high demand out there. Everything we have here are on high demand.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. This is Mr. John calling from Utako.
Good morning, Mr. John. Now you call us first today.
Mr. John, good morning.
Mr. John, please go ahead.
How do you work?
Fine, oh.
I said yesterday, show me your friend, and I will tell you who you are.
Yes, Mr. John.
You understand me? What people are campaigning in all those states for APC, what have they done for the past 1 year? You understand me?
Yeah.
This is what we're supposed to see, that the money they collected, they borrowed for, what did they do?
What did they do with it?
They award what are they calling it? Calabar to Lagos for 15 trillion. The work, they have not even started the work. You understand me? See, there is nothing this I said it, we should just sit down. We should just sit down as human beings and reflect. We should just sit down as human beings and reflect. What is the thing that we have achieved in this government? You understand me?
Yes.
There is nothing.
There's nothing. There's no. In fact, there is no blueprint to where we are going.
Everywhere, everything is scarce. You understand me? Food. There is no food, and we are talking about exportation and one thing or the other. You understand me? If you want to export, you get to the airport. You are custom. You now go pull up for one trouser.
Yes.
But if there are structures,
You now go pull up for one trouser. You understand me? So
Yes.
The problem we are facing that, as you just said, it is Muslims are suffering, Christians are suffering, even traditional rulers, the ones they are still suffering.
The thing no leave anybody.
don't leave it, exactly.
We should just keep our difference. Now they want to borrow how much? You understand? And sharp, they have signed the
They
bill.
have signed the bill. Yes.
That's why I
You
asked.
see that the executive have approved the bill already.
My sister,
I'm
what
with
I'm
you.
saying, sitting down here, negotiating for that bill, do you know how much they collect for the allowance?
Just for sitting down
Just to sit down and negotiate.
For
Exactly.
sitting down to negotiate, doing their work, you are doing your work, but they will pay you monthly salary. But them, sitting down, doing that work, this person for 8 years that I check is 3 million naira. Now maybe he will be expecting 8 million or 10 million.
Yes.
Just sitting down, doing your work. And we are saying there is no money. The fuel subsidy they remove, where is the money?
We
keep
kept asking
asking.
that. Kept asking that.
You understand? And you want to still borrow money, and we are giving China work. Nigeria is giving China work. They are still packing the mineral resources, stores, taking to their country. And we are still giving them work. That's why if you want to give a Chinese man work, he will beat the contract cheap. Okay, look at Kubwa Road. When rain is falling, if you do not take time, my brother, na slap, you go hit your motor will get accident. Look at what they did here. They will give you contract for cheap rate. When you collect the contract for cheap, they collect the contract for cheap rate because they know that the stones and the rest they are going to benefit from it. But Nigeria will still go back to their country and borrow money. They will say this person they do us well. That's the way they borrow you money, they steal something from your house. If they do you well,
it is well.
You understand me? We're supposed to see that. Ajokuta is supposed to be producing car by now. We are the ones that are supposed to be exporting car to like all these our African neighboring countries,
Yes.
Ghana, Benin, Togo, all these things. But we are still here again, doing what we are doing. Now they turn around saying, Dangote, fuel. We should start buying fuel. Cement that we have the stones and everything in here. We are buying cement for how much?
Please round up, Mr. John.
My brother, if we dey talk about Nigeria this way, they give us a that's why I say I'm angry saying this because our leaders do not have the poor masses in their heart. All what they after is their self and their family. Because if it affect them today now, you will see that everything will turn around.
Thank you, Mr. John. Thank you so much for
God bless us, my sister.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mr. John. Mr. John, don't start this morning with anger for Nigeria.
No, the thing is,
We
there are
have
things.
triggered Mr. John.
You are looking. You are looking at things we were discussing.
Oh my God.
We're having insecurities. We are having all these issues. Nobody's talking about that. But to borrow 2.2 billion US dollars
Talking about that, let's move
to
over.
fund 2024 budget that has
Let's
finished.
move over to the third story now on Vanguard. It says, rethink reform strategies, IMF advises Nigeria. Now, the International Monetary Fund has issued recommendations to help sub-Saharan African countries, including Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia, and Kenya, to implement economic reforms that are acceptable in to their citizens. Now, the countries are experiencing adjustment fatigue and civil resistance due to the reforms, which include deregulation of petrol and foreign exchange. The IMF's Regional Economic Outlook report emphasizes the need for broad-based engagement with the population, clear communication of the benefits of reform, and partnerships with key figures. It also recommends appropriate design and sequencing of reforms, complementary measures to support those affected, and fostering inclusive growth. Now, this report suggests that policymakers should focus on building trust with the public, promoting transparency, and controlling corruption. Opinion surveys indicate that trust in governance ability to use public resources effectively is low in many sub-Saharan African countries. Now, to address these challenges, the IMF recommends a multifaceted approach, including social safety nets, job search assistance, and retraining programs. By prioritizing inclusive growth and addressing social frustrations, policymakers can reduce macroeconomic vulnerabilities and create a more sustainable economic environment. Now, I'm going to just hold on to this. This is a research that has been done. This is IMF coming to, roll out strategies that can help, sub-Saharan African countries, which Nigeria is a part of. And now the reports that they brought out is that the opinion survey indicates that trust in governance ability to use public resources effectively is low.
Because we have seen, because of experience.
That's just what we
because of experience
talking about.
Yes.
The public, the people, the citizens, they don't have trust
Now let me say this.
in government's ability to use public resources.
Let me say this. If the US president comes out to say we want to borrow $1 trillion, in fact, it won't take 2 seconds for the proposal to get approved. You know why? Because over the years they have seen that each penny borrowed was accounted for. If there was corruption, it was at the barest minimum. Because the country is not being run by individuals. It is a systematic thing. That you are the president you are just the president. Before anything is approved or is done, there is a system that has to be accounted for and transparently in that matter. But in Nigeria, we
Look at some of the things that the report suggested that policymakers should. And every time that we read all of these things, I'm like, why are all these things just on paper? Why are we not seeing them?
Do you think they don't know?
So because now we're looking at how that the report is suggesting that policymakers should focus on 3 things. Now, number 1, building trust with the public. We're looking at number 2, promoting transparency. And then the third thing is controlling corruption. And you see that these three things,
They are intertwined.
Exactly.
They're
And
intertwined.
if focused on properly, you see the amount of results that
Yes.
we're going to get. Talking about building trust, the average Nigerian does not trust in the ability for this country to progress. They go just tell you, talk, say, Nigeria don't scatter, nothing go moving. I told you the other time, we're giving an example and making jokes about how even a small child in America knows how to just already say, God bless America.
Yes.
Just talk good
They,
about
they
their
have they have
country.
built it into their conscience.
Exactly, at the back of their mind.
the back of their
Ask
mind.
an average primary one child about their country. They could not tell you to say, get as this country bill. No trust in whatsoever. We don't trust the electricity sector. We don't trust the system, the health sector. We don't trust the government. We don't trust INEC. Which we don't trust security.
We don't even trust ourselves.
The other time, no be yesterday we dey argue say who bring out the talk say police is your friend. Shemina yesterday we dey argue we don't trust the police. Who do we even trust? So talking about now intentionally doing things that will help rebuild the trust.
And the only way to do this, just like what I said, the corruption is endemic. It has gone, as in it has eaten deep into the fabrics of this nation. Everybody, in fact, even the nursery school child has the blood flowing in him or her.
Let's take this call, Mr. Zele. Sorry. Hello, good morning.
Mr. John calling back.
Okay, Mr. John.
I want us to sit down and reflect. All the whole country and what they have that Nigeria did not have time to.
Nothing.
You know our problem? We have everything in this country. What we are lacking is effective leadership.
Yes.
That we do not have leaders that they are effective.
We don't have somebody with the political willpower to get things right.
Hello, you are hearing me,
I'm with you, Mr. John.
See, one thing we have to know is that our leaders are supposed to be effective. You understand? Because going to Kogi, we have mineral resources here. Going to Niger State, we have mineral resources here.
Everywhere.
But our leaders are not helping the issue. Going to Meduguri have natural fish.
Yes.
You understand? Because our leaders, they are not helping the issue. They are self-centered. That's why I see that Nigeria is struggling. How can you wake up one morning, say, fuel now, subsidy go fuel 600 naira, for 600 naira, 1,100.
Without any plan for the masses.
And you are in Brazil saying that there is hunger in Africa. I watched the news yesterday in AIT. Which you are the cause of the hungry. Bring down fuel to the hungry will drop.
Yeah.
They did not have the masses. They are doing their own because it did not affect them.
Definitely.
I wish it affect them. Everything in this country will go normal.
I've proposed that already.
You understand me? God, your country. Nobody has what Nigeria has, including that US that we are talking about. What is it that US have?
Look at what Dubai did with their
yes.
Sahara desert.
Exactly.
You understand? Do you know what they just have? They have leadership that they are effective.
That's intentional.
You understand me?
Yes.
But
So sorry, Mr. John. I think that we lost you on that one. But again, it's just the same thing that we're talking about. Kebi, let's get you, because Kebi, you're just smiling and looking at us like, una no know this Nigeria, una just the talk. Kebi, please go ahead.
Well, this is not the first time IMF is coming out to talk about this whole Nigeria issue, and I think the Nigeria government, they're actually not listening to what these people are saying. If they cannot listen to us, it's not them to listen to. Well, they are stating the obvious, and we all know what is happening in Nigeria, and you see our presidents traveling out of the country, going to solve people's issue, bring solutions, and the one country that you have been given to rule, it's difficult for you to bring out solutions. These things are simple. Put measures in a way that it will curb all this issue. See, okay, let me go with the fact that today, let me not be a little bit negative. Let me go to positive direction. There was one time Mr. Sele was saying what this present administration is doing is kind of good if you look at it from the bright side. So let me go from that direction now. Mr. Sele, are you hearing?
Mr. Sele, they are calling you out.
I'm with you.
So you see, I had this conversation with somebody one time when he said most leaders cannot do what Tinubu did because they have been trying so hard to remove subsidy. They are trying so hard to do some certain things that he did during this tenure. And if you look at it, some will say, like Mr. Sele say, you are going to suffer, you are going to pass through a lot because it
But
has
at the
to do
end,
with
you will rejoice.
change. It has to do with you adjusting to a new. In order for the country to go, the comfortability is too much and all. But at the end of the day, you will see the bright light at the end of the tunnel. So, but now looking at it from this angle of Nigerians, we want that change. We want Nigeria to grow. We want it to be a better place. But assuming he came in with the fact that, okay, yes, we want to change, but there are ways in, like he brought up measures or things that will sustain us for a very long time, we won't feel the impact. We won't feel this pain this much. Assuming he did it that way, Nigerian would have said, okay, he's doing his work and all. They're looking at the other side of, the people really knows. The people really knows they don't have Nigerians at heart. You can see the way they lavish the Nigerian money. You see they borrow, and at the end of the day, we don't see the use. They have been borrowing a lot this tenor, but you see at the end of the day, we don't see the use. But they come out to say they are using it. So I don't want to jump today. I just don't want to jump into conclusions.
If you look at the second paragraph of that IMF report. You see, it is what we have said over and over again.
Exactly.
Complementary measures to support those who are affected. If this president, before taking down the fuel subsidy, had put measures in place to cushion
even
the
if
effect.
it's that CNG.
Even that, thank you. If it is CNG, if gas was made, do you know the amount of natural gas that they waste in this country? Because we can't exhaust it. It is being produced in mass. You can't exhaust. If things were put in place to cushion the effect, we won't be crying here.
Let's take this one. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
The uncles of the program, Mr. Sedelson, you are welcome back.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good morning, sir.
Yes, in fact, so many Nigerians have spoken a lot. Well, we hope that on what we are saying and the solution we are providing, some of them will see the light of the
day. We hope so.
That is our prayer. Just watch from the electioneering campaign. There's no leader among them that would say, I have Nigeria at heart or Nigeria first.
At all.
No. You see, Donald Trump came back because he said America first. And that is what is applicable to all other leaders of those advanced countries.
Exactly.
They have their people, the country
at heart.
Yes, and their people. Anything that has to do with other things is a subsidiary. Now, we have been talking about building trust in the Nigerian populace. Our leaders, see, some of them, if you dig deep down, somebody who will even change his primary school, maybe will change his primary school certificate, or will change his date of birth and what have you. Is there anything that you needed from him again before you know that this man is prone to criminality? So these are some of the things. In a nutshell, let us continue to pray for Nigeria and the Nigerian leaders. Let them think about what is right and do it at the right time.
Thank you.
God bless Nigeria and God bless the people. Have a wonderful conversation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abdallah. I appreciate you. Now, we've talked about trust, building trust with the public. Another thing that is suggested was promoting transparency.
Exactly.
You know that with the age, the technology age that we're in, we're supposed to be seeing data and details
of
on how our money
are
is
being spent.
There needs to be like a website that somebody just goes to scroll and see, oh, these people remove 5 naira to buy water. Oh, these people remove 3 naira to invest in this. Oh, with the kind of technological age that we're in at the time, the Nigerian people needs to be seeing things, because they used to say seeing is believing.
I just like what I said. All we need is a president, just an individual, who has that strong political will to do what is right. Automate a lot of things in Nigeria, and I tell you, our problem will crash to barest minimum.
Mr. Sele, one person. I'd not agree with that one.
No, you know why I said one person?
In Nigeria, one person, Mr. Sele.
You know why I said one person? If I assume office as the president, I know at least about 1,000 persons I will fire that very day. I'm assuming office. Serious. I know at least 1,000 persons I'm going to fire on the spot. In fact, as I'm dropping my speech, they should be leaving their office. And do it, and you see this country, because yes, corruption is being aided by a lot. We know who is aiding and abetting corruption, for crying out loud. We know how corrupt our civil service is. Do a turnaround in that. Put people, do a total reform in our civil service. Put people in strategic places to start the reform. And it's not going to be easy for one person, but I'm sure with 80 years in office, a politically weird person will get it done.
And Mr. Sele, you know that when we're talking about transparency, we're not even only talking about it from just the top,
from the top,
presidency.
No, at every level.
How many back and forths have we had with EFCC and governors?
Okay.
And sometimes when we're talking about these things, Kebi, if you remember, we keep saying, can EFCC even come out and tell us what is even going on? Can they release maybe a press statement or something?
In the politics already. How do you expect them to come out when they're already playing the game?
Which day were we talking about how Dangote was not transparent with pricing?
With pricing, we were asking him
back and forth.
All these figures should be just like what you said. It's something that I can just pick my phone. Okay, how much is Dangote selling for at PM? I have the figures on a platform that everybody can access. But no, they won't do it. Somebody was just saying, okay, like a lot of things, anybody can come up and claim to be whoever he wants to be, collect a contract and run away, disappear into the thin air.
Let's take this one.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Good morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, what's your name?
Robert.
Oh, Robert.
Yes. Please, I want to ask the Nigeria government. I want to ask them one question.
No.
They say they want to borrow money. The money they want to borrow is for what?
To fund 2024 budget.
Deficit.
2024 budget.
Deficit. We still have December now.
Yes.
Yes. Then they forget that poor masses was dying for hungry.
Oh God.
Yes, they forgot.
Maybe it's part of why they want to borrow.
No. We have hearing this thing during Buhari time. They want to stop problem of Nigeria. They want to stop hunger. They want to stop this and that. The money they have borrowed from Buhari time, have we paid that money?
We're still borrowing in 2025 now. This one is to
complete 2024. So we still have another one to borrow for 2025 budget.
They are still borrowing. But let them not forget that China is coming to put signboard for Nigeria. Yes.
Oh my God.
They are forgetting that
We're not borrow the money we did inside.
China is coming to put signboard for Nigeria that Nigeria is turned to China.
By that time, we'll start answering Chinese names.
I know. We won't get to that point. Let's be hopeful.
I was saying yesterday that some comments, Nigeria government will come outside and talk. People will die without God, without cutlass, without anything. As long as you hear the talk like this, you go just die inside your room. Your people will come see your dead body because of talk way government they bring out. Exactly, Mr. John said it as the Nigeria government there's some comment where they bring up. They kill people anyhow. I hear now say
Yes.
You see, you get some things where Nigeria government. Yes, you know that every country they borrow money. We know that, but the Nigeria government own is enough.
It's something else.
It's too much. That's why I say that very soon now you see China ball. You see for Baghdad. From Baghdad you see for Lagos, Badagry. All the border, put the closer to Nigeria, you see the ball for there. Nigeria have resources which they will manipulate. They can borrow money. You understand? Nigeria have plenty resources. See now we are trying for Dangote. Dangote is not government. It's private.
He's doing his own business.
It's private business.
Government Kuma, they still they do back and forth with refinery.
So we cannot carry ourselves. We cannot carry the whole country and put for Dangote head. If Dangote like today, we stop in business.
It so if Dangote no one sell to Nigerians again, one sell abroad. Who won't hold them?
Who won't hold them? Nobody. As long as you have your money, you do what you want. So Nigeria government, I don't know. This is something else. This is the child Nigeria citizen. Truly.
Thank you, Mr. Roman.
It's funny, but it's heartbreaking.
I agree with you.
It's heart wrenching. As in, we can't be talking about this over and over again. We were hopeful. This government come on with a mandate of hope, renewed hope. And is this the kind of hope?
Before. Mr. Sele, Vicky, see, these people will come out with. I don't know who is to write that in for them, but they will go and survey all Nigeria, all the 36 states, and look at what Nigeria is passing through, what is killing us, then write it down. Then they'll come out and read it for Nigerians, and we will fall for it because that is our main problem, and we need leaders to fix it. And at the end of the day, they keep doing the same thing over and over again. I personally believe in this people. I don't understand.
You know, the way at which Nigerians rallied around the ex-president Muhammadu Buhari was a wonder. So, because everybody knew what corruption was doing.
Well, doing to this country, yes.
You know, so when he came out to say, you know what, I'm going to fight corruption. This corruption, people said, oh, we're in this together.
Yes.
What did we see after how many years again? 8 years.
In fact, we saw worst.
Mr. Sele, you said one leader. No, I'm not trying to bring any leader, but we had one leader, one president that had the mindset of changing.
No, get me Nigeria. Right. I said one leader with a political will.
And yes,
most leaders that get there
walking around him, Mr. Sele, the people that are walking around that leader have the capability and ability to change.
Did you remember that at a point Aisha Buhari came out to cry foul about what was happening? I'm talking of a leader that will get there and deal with those so-called cabals first. We saw what J.J. Rawlings did in Ghana. Do you want me to say it? He first of all cleared some bush. I know what I'm saying. He cleared some bush.
Mr. Sele, cannot happen in Nigeria.
That's why I say we need somebody with a political will who can do that.
We don't need to totally dismiss it. I think there's a possibility for change in Nigeria.
Yes, what he did, what J.J. Rawlings did was to give them, to place it as in, give them options. It's either you change or you are gone. A lot of people will go on exile. Those who know that they can't change, go on exile. If you can't get an exile, anything that you see, you take. But this is what I want. A president with a political will can't do that in Nigeria.
Let's take this one. Hello, good morning. Oh, I think that we lost that one. In case you're just tuning in, this is Bright Republic on Bright FM 98.7, and we're still looking through the news stories making the headlines in today's newspaper. We're going on a quick break, and when we come back, the conversation continues. So do not touch your radio, please. Stay with us.
here since 3 days ago. Like corruption can happen at anywhere.
Corrupt with petrol. I prevent it with none of corruption with petrol. I see them for hotel, I see them for market. And if you see them, you go know.
They say you get where them, then they embalm themselves, but me, I never go to that place before.
Let's discuss the headlines and politics.
Going by the Senate Standing Orders of 2011 as amended, which is the genuine and authentic because it has never. I need protection. Will you shut up?
Get involved. Air your opinions. In this republic, we don't turn off your mic. Join us on Bright Republic, weekdays, 8 a.m.
Get ready. So, does the radio stop when you get into a car accident? Or are you just sitting there like,
I'm a savage, yeah. Classic, Let's
go.
What up, man? It's Sierra, that's right.
Yeah, it's your boy Chameleon.
Yo, what up? This is Big Snoop Dogg.
Hi, this is the Pussycat Dolls.
Music, please.
Watermelon sugar high. I got hands for I get bands for.
Hey, this is Carrie Hilson, and you're listening to
Bright 98.7.
I am here since 3 days ago. Like corruption can happen at anywhere.
Corrupt with petrol. I prevent it with none of corruption with petrol. I see them for hotel, I see them for market. And if you see them, you go know.
They say you get where them, then they embalm themselves, but me, I never go to that place before.
Let's discuss the headlines and politics.
Going by the Senate Standing Orders of 2011 as amended, which is the genuine and authentic because it has never. I need protection. Will you shut up?
Get involved. Air your opinions. In this republic, we don't turn off your mic. Join us on Bright Republic, weekdays, 8 a.m.
Get ready.
All right, welcome back. This is still Bright Republic on Bright FM. And in case you want to just get across to us via calls, please, by all means, reach out to us on 0808-704-1217. That's our call line, 0808-704-1217. And if you want to text us on WhatsApp or send us a voice note, the WhatsApp number is 0901-615-0614. Let's come back with this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Bright FM.
Good morning to you. What's your
morning,
name? Where
sir.
are you calling from?
Good morning to you in the studio. My name is Sam.
Mr. Sam.
I'm calling from Africa, yes.
Mr. Sam, please go
Not
ahead.
us. Thank you so much. Let me quickly, before I bring in my input so that it will not skip my mind, please, I want you to keep calling out the numbers.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay.
it took me like forever yesterday to get your number.
So sorry about that.
And after I got it, you guys were already out of the studio, so I couldn't, get through.
Okay.
Even though I had a one hold number that I had before stored against the name, I don't know if that number is still valid.
Oh no, I think this one is the one that is valid now.
Okay, so please keep calling it, maybe intermittently, maybe in an interval of 5 minutes thereabout, so that people can be.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Get... Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So back to this matter. Each time I hear borrowing, what comes to my mind is, what if, for whatever reason, by divine intervention or whatever, if we just every other nation in the world just refuse to borrow us money, what would happen?
That's a deep question.
We'll generate our own.
You understand? Because we have refused to look inwards. It's making our leaders intellectually lazy. Honestly, I'm calling from Nasarawa. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
This Nasarawa has the appellation land of solid minerals or something like that.
Yes, land of home of solid minerals.
I don't know if you guys have been on this subject before. I'm not an indigenous of Nasarawa State. I'm from Osun State, actually.
Wow.
But I can tell you that what I have seen, even working, I have not gone to any site, or not mining site. I mean, just at the just around your
Just walking around
the
environment.
Just walking around. There was one day I was going to the church, and I saw something like a layer of glass. It was just, glittering and all that. I had to bend down to pick it. You know that one day, children were just playing on the same Nasarawa here, and they held a stone. It was my first time I saw diamond in my life.
Are you kidding me?
Seriously. Those shapes that you see diamond that they come with, it is naturally crafted that way. That is the first time I'm seeing it. Elon Musk, richest man in the world, I learned he has acres of land on Nasarawa. Do you think he's stupid to fly from the United States down to Nasarawa? So, you see, when we start talking about this borrowing thing, it just keeps me, I don't know. You understand? So I wish, in fact, maybe for those of us who believe in prayer, maybe our prayer point now should be that, God, don't let any country lend money to Nigeria. Maybe we can get
Yes.
Mr. My name is Sam Oluyemi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sam Oluyemi. We appreciate your contribution.
That is just it. Because I can't fathom it. I can't get hold of how a president sitting on Nigeria, where we have, I've said it over and over now, Nigeria is the most blessed nation of the world.
Let me tell you what.
If all other presidents who have been borrowing, we are borrowing to develop how to mine all these mineral resources. We are borrowing to see how we can turn Nigeria's creative abilities into something useful. I'm not sure this president will be talking of borrowing.
Let me tell you what is going to happen if we adopt what Mr. Oluyemi just said. First things first, cost of governance will first come down.
That is it.
Because now nobody is borrowing you money from anywhere to waste anywhere. You are even looking for money to fix the country. You will start with people that are earning a lot of money, and that's the government.
Now, let me make reference.
It will come down.
Let me make reference to somebody we know him by the time I said this. When he assumed office as a governor, the first thing he did was like, okay, if I'm going to Abuja, he looked at the list, maybe minimum of 50 personnel going with him to attend one single meeting in Abuja. He now asked, just list out what these people are going to Abuja to do. It is a meeting that needs the governor to attend, right? So all these people in the list, just list out what they are going to do. And I don't have an issue with it.
They will just follow for moto long.
Which moto?
Like this.
Which moto? They will all of them will fly in.
And that's what I'm saying.
They will lodge them in hotels. I told you of a person I worked with that said each time the minister has an event outside the country,
cash go flow.
he will be thinking of the next investment because he knows how much he's coming home with. Just to follow the minister, go there, carry camera, snap him or her, and come back. He will be thinking of the next investment. Now, if we, that's why I said it takes somebody with a political will, just like what our last caller said. If we have somebody who will now put an end, we don't borrow, and if we have anything we have, let's see what we do with it. We have somebody that is accountable. Nigeria will rise.
And he said something else. He said that if people stop lending us,
yes,
that our government will think. They will start thinking
inwardly,
creatively.
Yes.
Let's take this one. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Robert.
Ma?
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good.
Okay, you see this last caller? I like what he said. I like it because he said that all people who are under government, they are lazy.
Yes, they are.
They are lazy, totally lazy. They are there to sit down, press phones, manipulate computer.
You still get some way they work, or no be all of them, or Mr. Robert.
What percentage?
My sister, they say one fish will spoil inside river. Then spoil everything for the river. You see, if they carry 10%, 10 big men will be under government. 6 or 7 say make them borrow money. The 3 will remain, no get capacity to get people down. You understand? If they carry 10 people, make dem vote. 3 doubt say make dem no borrow money. The 7 wey remain agree. What is going to happen? They are totally agree that make dem borrow the money.
Yes.
So all of them, you see their office, you see the belly big like woman who want to come. If they talk to you, you carry your ear, go close your mouth or your ear, go close the mouth before you hear wetin they talk. They go chop everything across the Nigeria, then they go chop. You see, they are not ready to work.
Please
they are not ready to.
Robert.
They are not ready to serve government. Make them pack themselves. If in abroad, where they will go, make them go or make them go another country, go try that thing where they do, whether they go succeed.
Thank you, Mr. Robert.
Make them enter common question, go try this one where they do, whether they go succeed.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Mr. Robert. Let's move over to Vanguard newspaper. Before that, I think we should take Mr. Sam's advice and call out the numbers again. In fact, let's say when I go begin to save our number, save them for your phone, Bright FM, so that anytime you want to call us, it's easy for you to do. So for our WhatsApp number, 0901 615 0614. That's our WhatsApp number. Let's take it again. 0901 615 0614. And for our call line, you want to call us directly, 0808 704 1217. Let's take that call number again, 0808 704 1217. And in case you're on social media, we are streaming live on Facebook at Bright FM Abuja and on YouTube at Bright FM Abuja. So follow us and be part of the conversation. Let's move over to Vanguard this morning. Tinubu saved Nigeria from economic bleeding. Edun on this one. Now, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has said the initiative of President Bola Tinubu stopped the country from bleeding, referring to the stoppage of imported fuel, now which he said was costing 5% of the GDP of the country every year. The minister, who stated this during the opening ceremony of the National Council of Finance and Economic Development in Bauchi yesterday, said that President Tinubu's administration inherited assets and liabilities, adding that there were no looking back in charting a way forward to stabilize the economy. Now, when you try to look at where we are now, essentially the major macroeconomic reforms that are in place, the president has stopped the bleeding that was costing 5% of the GDP of the country every year, that was adding no value except to a few people and, of course, neighboring countries that were benefiting from what was happening with the fuel subsidy and as well a related foreign exchange subsidy. Now, the benefits were saved for just a few, and a mass of Nigerians were not getting any benefits from these structures. They have been removed, and the Federation account will benefit from the increased flow of resources to the federal, states, and local governments, and so much more can be done in terms of investing not just in infrastructure, but in social services like education, health. The road is clear for private sector investors, and as we know, we are now back in business on the road to industrialization based on what is happening in the petroleum refining sector. He said crude oil is not just being shipped abroad, it's being refined locally to give petroleum products and raw materials in the industry. I said we should be encouraged that we have a more stable, sustainable macroeconomic environment that is friendly to investors, that will make it possible not only for them to produce competitively for the domestic market, but also the expats. The minister also expressed appreciation to Governor Bala Mohammed for hosting the conference and the organizers for making the conference a reality. So let's just first get your take on this. I have a problem with, after praising the president of how he saved Nigeria from economic bleeding, you're making reference to Dangote's refinery.
Yes,
which is a private
why are you like
refinery.
He saved Nigeria from bleeding. Yes, I agree. Anyway,
you're praising, you're saying, oh, crude oil is not just only being shipped, it's being refined locally. Who made that happen?
if Dangote's refinery, is not functional now, look at what is happening with Port Harcourt refinery.
Anyway, let me take the
that shouldn't even Mr. Sele, that shouldn't even be a basis to praise the government.
I don't want to.
It was Dangote that said that the government didn't even give him land, that he paid for everything in dollars. How many times have we said that the Nigerian government should at least sell crude to Dangote at a very reduced price? Let us see how it's going to impact the fuel price. I don't know why he's using this. That's the one that is vexing me. Why are you using Dangote refinery to be talking? Leave it alone. Talk about other things that the president has done to make sure that he saved Nigeria from economic bleeding.
Yes, the removal of fuel subsidy, was it for the benefit of Nigeria and Nigerians? Yes.
What are we bleeding?
The regulation of
what
the
are we bleeding?
The regulation of the forest. No, see, seriously, we were bleeding. In fact,
what?
we were at the point, we were almost at the ICU when President Bola came in. I agree with you, because if Nigeria had continued on that track of fuel subsidy and the parallel market not being deregulated, I'm sure by now we won't be talking of only 2.2 billion naira for them to borrow. They will be borrowing in trillions of dollars,
Mr. Sele,
to pay salaries, to do other things.
Mr. Sele, Vicky asked, "Are we still bleeding?"
You never say answer me.
I'm coming to that.
No, just answer yes or no. It's the simple thing. Are we still
you never say answer me.
No, we are still bleeding. Yes. In fact, the bleeding increased, because the thing is, just like what I said, we should be ready for more bleeding. But are there blood pints in the blood bank? Yes, they are donors donating blood.
Do you still have blood? So like man,
this is not funny. You people are laughing about this. It's not funny, right? But I think that Go ahead.
I know it's not funny, but let me take what Wale Edu said. Yes. The moves of the president, as in his moves, his decisions in removing the fuel subsidy, deregulating the parallel market, and all, they were beautiful ideas. Just like IMF said, they were beautiful ideas, but taken at the wrong time and with wrong moves.
And with no soft landing.
That's what I'm saying. You just wake up. You can't just wake up and take such decisions. You would have made plans. And now you have taken off the fuel subsidy. Where, as in the money you were paying, you were using to pay fuel subsidy. What are you using it for? Where are the effects? Where are the impact of you not paying the subsidy?
And also, President Tinubu might be, saving Nigeria from economic bleeding with his policies, but I don't think he has saved Nigeria from economic bleeding.
Definitely.
Maybe it's in the process.
He's in the process.
Maybe
yes.
we're still watching some of his policies unfold and begin to yield results, right? But as far as we're concerned, economically, Mr. Sele, Nigeria is still bleeding.
And yes, I agree.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Mr. John calling back.
Mr. John.
Thank you.
I want to throw the line of the other caller that says he stayed in Nasarawa. That's why you will see Chinese. They will not leave Nasarawa. Because there is a radio station that normally hits on this Nasarawa, this mining that they are doing there. You understand? We have mineral resources and we are still borrowing money. Even though you say nobody should borrow, but if you check now, no European country is borrowing Nigeria money again. China will borrow Nigeria money.
Yes, because of what they are getting from Nigeria.
Yes. And no European country, no white man will leave their country and come to Nigeria if not for their own selfish interest.
Yes.
I make a statement the other day that an India Prime Minister, their president, came to Nigeria to do 1 or 2 years. You understand? To sign what? He have already mapped out his plan what he's going to do.
No, now you saw now what he signed now. Long-term crude oil supply. Yes.
You understand me? You know what he's going to gain.
Exactly.
Before, when China came to Nigeria, how did they start? By selling things for us. From there, China enter block industry. From now, China don't enter construction.
Yes.
You understand? Packing our mineral resources, and we are still there borrowing money. What is the thing that APC?
Oh, sorry, Mr. John.
I think that we've lost Mr. John right there. Let's take this message from Chief Onovo from Kubwa. It says, "My lovely and wonderful crew in the house, good morning to you all." He said, "They laugh. Boro make man rich as an individual adage, but the opposite has become the case as our country, Nigeria, turns to be Boro master above other countries in the world. Who has done this to our country, Nigeria? Who has bewitched our Nigerian leaders since time inception of democracy?" Said this call for a very big question to Nigerians to ask and find a better solution to work against this predicament of borrowing that is devouring and ravaging our taxpayer resources. Let's hold our leaders accountable and say no against their mindset of borrowing syndrome to avoid we Nigerians not to be in debt or not to be debtors in China's country register, because if Nigeria as a country fails to pay, they will have no other choice than to go after Nigerians that are in their country, China, to retrieve their money. This one is from Chief Onovo. You know, we also said we made a point that borrowing is not the problem. You know,
It's not the
getting
problem.
loans is not the problem. Nigeria is not the first country
We
to
are not
get
the
loans.
only country, no.
Right. The question is, on a business, if you're thinking, you know, business wise, when you get a loan, you're looking at investing and making profits
Because
and
you
then
are servicing the loan.
Exactly. So the question is, for all of the loans that Nigerian governments have been getting, what's the profit margin like?
What have we done with it?
What have we
Where
done
are the
with
investment we have made with this?
Exactly. And that's why, you know, when Mr. Sam came out to say, you know what, I think that borrowing is even, you know, removing creativity from leaders and making them lazy. Because there's a way that you will, you know, say that was in a hunger, they bring out creativity for person.
Yes.
There's a way that you lack money, Sakpa just do you something, your brain
will wake
activate.
up. Yes.
Do you understand? So it makes that if that flow of loan money stops, maybe there's going to be a roundtable conversation to see.
We had a headline some time ago when some governors came up to counter president's policy on. There was a topic bordering on governors generating their own something that will push them to look inwardly and generate their internal revenue. They came to fight it. That's why I said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu definitely has a lot of things. He has a lot of good plans for Nigeria. Yeah. But will people allow him? No. But if he has the political will, my dear, he is the president and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic.
No,
he calls the shot. So if he has the political will, he has what it takes to get Nigeria to where we're supposed to be.
No, Mr. Senator, this is something that other presidents so far are trying to do. You look at former President Goodluck, you see he tried to remove it, just that Nigerian were up and down with the whole thing. And you see former President Buhari too, you know, they had the intentions, because they know that if you remove subsidy, there's a whole benefit you get from it, you know. And they had the intentions of doing it. They didn't just have that mind. I don't want to put it that way, but let me
the political
mind to do it, to remove the subsidy. But he had it. Looking at the current president, Mr. Tinubu, you will see that he's in line with what will move Nigeria forward. Yes. He has that mindset of doing things that former leaders could not do. But the thing is, he's just doing it at the wrong time.
Not only at the wrong time.
When is the right time?
No, not just the wrong time. This is the right time to do it.
It's a problem. It's a soft landing problem.
This is the right time to do it. But it takes a very you have to step on strong toes. You have to. A lot of people have to have to pay for it.
And you have to think about the impact that it's going to have on the people
on the
and
people.
how to soft land it for
Exactly.
Not just only that, is that he's also surrounded with wrong people.
That's what I'm saying. That you heard what I said before. If I'm elected president of Nigeria today,
you know,
before I'm finishing my speech,
you don't come
no, people, even from the speech, people will be leaving their offices.
Mr. Sele, even the people can leave, but the people that he's bringing to, these people too might not have the same.
When see, there is one thing about the iron sharpeneth iron. When you see what your leader is doing, even in our offices, there are people. Maybe there are people you don't. If you are discussing some certain things, if they come, you know how you shape yourself, because you don't know whether this one. I don't know if you get it.
I get it.
So I know of a colleague then that the moment you tell him, okay, Victor, KB said this, he will just listen. The moment you finish, he will just go and call KB. Hey, Victor, you said what? I don't know if you get it. So people knew him that he don't do side talks. If anything you want to tell him, make sure you can repeat it before the other person.
Exactly.
So if you know that your leader is somebody who is this straightforward, then you adjust.
Mr. Saleh, I don't want to use this example, but let me just use it. Even in the midst of Christ, we still had Judas Iscariot.
Yes,
but
it was 1 out of 12.
1 out of 12. So
but in Nigeria, what we have is 11 out of 12.
Can we take this comment? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Sam Oluye.
Oh, okay, Mr. Sam.
All right. I'm just feeling you guys this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As an individual, I don't know, maybe it's just my being. There is the way I look at things is a little, my views are always a little different from the general perception of things. Okay, now let me ask, I'm just pondering. Now, the whole woe that has befallen Nigerians, when I say Nigeria, I mean the ordinary Nigerians.
Nigerians.
Yes, since the coming in of this administration, it's just one statement: subsidy is gone forever, right?
Yeah.
And ever since, the whole equation has changed.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, the easiest way is just to say, okay, subsidy, yeah, welcome back. We are sorry. We didn't realize what we did and all that. And you see that things will just naturally, organically, they will come back, trust the Nigerians. But this is where, my dear brothers and sisters, do you know that when you talked about the Indian Prime Minister who came in, what was his agreement? I heard from you now that it's
long-term supply of crude oil, yes.
Of crude oil, okay. Now, the Western world will tell us that in no time, crude oil is going to be obsolete, it's going to be useless.
They're going to start using technology, leveraging technology.
You understand? And if you look at India in terms of technology, we can't compare ourselves with them.
Yes.
So if crude oil is going to become obsolete in no distant time,
why do they need it?
Why would they come and sign a long-term agreement?
Are you with me?
Yes.
Dangote, a businessman that I know, very, very intellectual, he would not have invested $20 billion on a refinery in the year 2024.
Yes, I agree with you.
Look, you know what? You see this IMF and the likes, I can tell you for free. This is my perception. You see this idea of go back and the policy, this and that. It's because some of these decisions they influence our leaders to take is beginning to tell on their own economy.
Exactly.
I'll give you an example. So, how often do you see people importing vehicles now from abroad?
Yeah, it's true. You're right.
So when they don't buy what they are producing there, what do you think will be happening in the economy there?
Yes.
So it is just a soft way of saying, okay, now the amount of the volume of car coming out of from Europe has reduced now, and it is these developing countries whose, unfortunately, the leaders are so intellectually lazy and they are not producing and they are buying from us. The money is not coming out. So let's see how we can just, deceive them into
going back. Yes.
I don't know if you are getting.
I get you, Mr. Sam.
So, sometimes anyway, I think I'll keep calling. I'll just be putting my little input so that
thank you so much.
We are awakening the consciousness of our leaders. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sam. Thank you very, very. I think today's the first time Mr. Sam is calling.
Yes, and yesterday, just like what he said, I was talking with a friend. He flew into Enugu. He went for a program and came back, and he was like, "Do you know that now, if you want to fly to any state in Nigeria, you only get to fly with all these politicians? That is no longer gone are the days where it's small boys who I want to go.
You know how much is flight? If you calculate it, you go use road.
What am I trying to say? Even the airline operators will definitely tell government, you need to go back to return the fuel subsidy. Whatever you did that brought Nigeria to this place, please return it back. It's telling on virtually
from Abuja
everybody.
To Lagos now is over 200.
Yes, fly from here to Enugu. He said, as in if you book ahead, almost 200,000. I wanted to go to. I told you when I wanted to go to. When I went to Katsina here, I just checked because I got the call very late. I just said, okay, can I get the first flight the next day? Ask me how much.
How much?
Almost 500,000.
Oh my God.
Now I know it.
Minimum wage is how much again? Remind me how much minimum wage. You can't use road.
No, why I not going to use road?
Oh my God.
That is it. So the thing is, a lot of all these foreign countries that were living big from Nigerians, Nigerians importing what they produce is affecting them, is telling on them, and they are looking at. It's better we advise these people to go back to where they were.
Let's take this one from Chief Onovo. It says, my people, Nigeria as a country is seriously bleeding because of fuel subsidy removal without an automative remedy. Yeah. I say, for me, it is not even bleeding, but gushing out. Now, uncontrollable against humanity, people are now in serious pain today in all sectors as fuel controls will affect all sectors. It says, with fuel subsidy, things go well with Nigerians, but if the opposite becomes the case, Nigerians will definitely receive misfortune. Thank you, Chief Onovo. Let's move to another story right here. I think this one is talking about character, I guess. Let's look at it. It's the Lagos Monarch. This is on Tribune. It says, Nigeria needs individual character remolding, not electoral reform. Let's look into the story properly. High Chief Kehinde, the traditional ruler of Otumara community in Lagos, believes that Nigeria's problems stem from individual character flaws, not electoral or judicial system issues. He suggests that living by the second stanza of the Nigeria's national pledge is the solution to the country's socio-economic and political challenges. The pledge emphasizes faithfulness, loyalty, and honesty. Now, Chief Kehinde believes would eradicate corruption, electoral fraud, and other issues if adhered to. Now, Chief Kehinde disagrees with former President Olusegun Obasanjo's call for electoral law reforms and new leadership at the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Instead, he advocates for individual character remolding, asserting that Nigerian laws are objective and unambiguous, and that the country has an abundance of professionals. The real problem, he argues, lies in individual greed and corruption. Now, the traditional ruler urges Nigerians, particularly the political class, to undergo self-cleansing and prioritize the success of the Nigerian project. By doing so, those in positions of power will be just, honest, and incorruptible, and will not compromise in handling corruption cases. Now, Chief Kehinde also highlights the need to address corruption cases that have been stalled for years at the ICPC and EFCC. Keys to Nigeria's progress, according to Chief Kehinde, is a shift in individual attitude towards corruption, greed, and power. And by embracing the values outlined in the National Pledge, Nigerians can create a more just and prosperous society. This approach prioritizes personal responsibility and integrity over systemic reforms, offering a unique perspective on addressing Nigeria's complex challenges. And you see that with all of this, it still comes back to us, the conversation that we had the other day about how it's the little things that matter and how much, values can influence things. And we talked about how that the people that are in power right now, they used to be ordinary Nigerians. And it was you who said that the people deserve the leaders, they get.
Yes.
Because the leaders were part of the people before. And it was somebody who talked about how that even with the 1999 constitution, Angel Gabriel cannot save Nigeria. Kebi, you remember that story? Yeah. And when we were talking about, and he was talking about how that we need to change the Nigerian, the 1999 constitution. And we said that for Nigeria, it's not about constitution. It's not about changing anything. It's about an individual, just like the Chief Kane said, the Nigerian person changing the way that they think. And I keep making reference to just call out an ordinary Nigerian now and just ask them, if you're given opportunity to serve now, what are you going to just hear their thoughts? Even when they say it jokingly,
they mean the same thing.
Anyway,
that was a beautiful piece of writing, a piece of advice, but on papers.
On papers, yeah.
What Nigeria need now, take it or leave it. Yes, we need character adjustment. I've been an advocate of that. It starts with me and you. But I tell you what, an average Nigerian, an average young guy on the street, when he's leaving the four walls of the university or the four walls of the school, or when he's getting into the streets to hustle, he's looking for what to eat. He is just looking for a comfortable life. If we have a government that guarantees tomorrow for my child, I will give it all to change the narratives. But when I have a government that have no plan for my own tomorrow, not to talk of my child, then I do everything to secure my child tomorrow. That is what brought us here. Everybody is fighting to secure his future, to guarantee a comfortable life, not
thereby compromising on character and values.
So if government have assured me, for instance, I was talking with one guy, like in US, for example. The moment I get a job, I have a job here. The moment I get a job, all I need is my pay slip. Walk into any automobile company, pick a car. I don't have to kill myself to buy a car. I need a house. I look for any this thing with my pay slip. I get a comfortable accommodation.
Let me tell you a little story. What you said. I had a friend of mine who traveled abroad just very recently, and when she got there and she settled in and she got a job, guess the first thing that she went to do? She went to buy big, all these big phones.
Yes.
I say, guy, he said he does not have the money. They will be taking it.
Yes, just with your pay slip.
Just like that. There's something called credit card.
Yes. So now that is where I'm going to.
You don't have to pray, Father, help me.
There are things you don't pray for over there. A lot of things. So if the government, because I agree with him totally, but it starts with the government. If the government puts the right thing in place, and I am not pushed, because a lot of Nigerians compromise because that's the only option to survive. Nigeria has turned to a jungle where it is the survivor of the fittest.
Mr. Sela, looking at it, if a person who does not have good character and values is part of the government, so it means that we're going to keep recycling.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Results. So the first thing we have to do is to get our government right. If we get it right, see, just like what I said, yes, if KB said even Jesus, among his apostles, there was Judas. Yes, we had Judas amongst the apostles. But in Nigeria, we have 11 Judas among 12 apostles. But with a right government there, if our tomorrow is guaranteed, we will find out that Nigerians are beautiful people, very loving people. As in, when I was posted for my service, I kept saying it. If I have my way, if not for the insecurity in the North, I will move to North and adopt being a Northerner. As in, I become a full-fledged Hausa man. In fact, if I will even take a name. I love their way. There was the first thing I learned in Hausa language was there's a way they say it. As in, when they say leave it, there's a way they say it.
I don't know.
That was the first thing I learned. As in, when they take things very easy.
Badamwa is like no problem.
I think that's it. Bakomi, as in Bakomi, leave it. As in, you see something that an average Igbo man will be fighting for. And he moves on. So I know that we have beautiful people in every ethnic groups in Nigeria. Give us a comfortable life, guarantee our tomorrow, and you see a beautiful Nigeria.
Mr. Sele, I like everything you just said now, but just like you said, I just recall something you said one time ago. We had the same conversation
holding you to your word.
Integrity. We had this conversation of
integrity,
integrity, and you stated then that if a leader does not have integrity, it will not work.
This is the same thing I'm saying. So
if I'm saying now, I said if a leader does not have integrity,
it can't work.
It's like that whole system is going to
and that's part of the character molding that the chief is
it has to start from up.
That time we're discussing about INEC and
exactly
EFCC, when we said as long as these people don't have integrity, even if they make them to stand on their own, it's still going to be the same, because they want to support, they'll still want to collect that money even if they are standing
on their own.
That's the time they even do worse, because people,
you now buy it no longer.
It's going to be highest bidder.
Thank you.
It's going to be based on highest bidder, and
yes,
whoever gives the highest money is the party that is going to win. So I like the fact that he came out, the monarch came out to say, see, this is what we need. But the thing is, even if you are coming out, these people will just listen and not do it at the end of the day.
That is it.
They will not do anything at the end of the day. So why are we even stressing ourselves in the first place? Because you know that this present administration are not going to listen to you. Integrity is far from these people. Honesty is far from these people, because they are all after themselves.
Before we move to the next news, in case you want to reach out to us, the number to call is 0808 704 1217. 0808 704 1217. And to text us on WhatsApp or send in a voice note, 0901 615 0614. Let's take it again. 0901 615 0614. On social media, on YouTube and on Facebook at Bright FM Abuja. Please do well to subscribe and follow and join in the conversation. Let's move to this story on Punch, and this is about insecurity now. Boko Haram kills 5 soldiers, burn military trucks in Borno attack. Now, Boko Haram / Islamic State's West Africa province terrorists have attacked troops at the Gubbio local government area of Borno State, killing 5. Also, 10 soldiers were wounded and 4 are missing in action. Now, the troops during the attack also killed many of the terrorists. Also killed many of the terrorists. Now, in a statement on Tuesday, the defense headquarters confirmed the incident. The director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said that the attack would not discourage the troops in the counter-terrorism operations in the state and beyond. Now, he said the coordinated attack saw 5 killed in action soldiers, 10 wounded, and 4 missing in action, while troops eliminated several terrorists as well as recovered weapons. Some equipment, including 1 gun truck, 3 TCVs, and an excavator, were burnt by the enemy forces. A reinforcement team with air components was detached to exploit the general area and the terrorist withdrawal route. However, it is pertinent to note that such an attack shall not deter the troops and armed forces of Nigeria from seeing the end of terrorism, insurgency, and other insecurity challenges facing the country. Now, before we even sit on this news, we're just saying rest in peace to the 10 soldiers who lost their lives, serving their country. No, 5 soldiers rather, who lost their lives, serving the people of Nigeria. And we say that may their soul rest in peace. Let's take this call. Okay, I think that we lost that one now. Now, the fight against insecurity in the country is getting tougher and tougher by the day. And it was the other day we talked about how that a lot of our security personnel are losing their lives in the fight against insurgency. Let's take this one. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Barrett.
Your name is what?
Barrett.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
My name is Barrett. I'm calling from the.
Okay, Mr. Barra, please go ahead.
I am thinking about character.
Can you increase your voice a bit?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard you people talking about character remark,
Yes.
and one of you are suggesting that we should start from the leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that sounds appealing, but when we're talking about character, it has something to do with morals, and morals have something to do with one's freedom, one's willingness to accept responsibility. And I may ask, the leaders who are they not first of all Nigerians?
Mm-hmm.
So if they are Nigerians, the question is, the person struggling to secure his tomorrow, does he own his tomorrow?
Does he
So
own
it already
tomorrow?
tells you that that person is sick. It is not the leader that is sick. The leader cannot come and change my character. The leader can only change his character.
His own character, yes.
How many percent do they constitute when you try to look at it? You see that they constitute not the majority, but they are the minority. If you put them all together, when it comes to character, I mean, it's tempting to say that the problem is most likely be lying with even we that are crying and shouting now because we voted for them. If we will see that they read themselves into it, could help them to reach the election. So I feel things like this, there are hard discussions we must tell ourselves. One, I do not need to secure my tomorrow. We actually have the integrity. I mean, we got people who establish themselves. You don't have to establish
What's
mentality
using
that government has to do.
Nigeria's money to secure your tomorrow?
Do you understand? You don't need the mentality that you need government for virtually everything. You have people that are moving to Nigeria without the help of any government, and then you're able to thrive and establish themselves. And it is possible for everybody as long as we liberate ourselves from that mentality that government has to do everything. I mean, we are talking about character and we want government to first. There is no government that will be the first to change its character in any nation. In every nation, the development, the progress, and the transformation has always been caused by the citizen, not by the elite, not by the elite, because the elite are enjoying it. They're not suffering. But if we decide to change our character, it will come 2027. We will change the leaders.
Thank you, Mr. Barra. Thank you so much for your contribution. I appreciate you. And there's one last thing that you said, that, I mean, it really stuck with me. You said if we decide to change our character as a people, it makes that by 2027. With that character change, we can make better decisions. Kevin, you get me, right? So, but let's come back to, this attack that has cost the lives of 5 of our military personnel, and we've asked that God receive their souls. But again, talking about insecurity, I want to ask a question. The government, are they providing adequate supplies for our military personnel to battle insecurity head on?
I think you have answered to that. People have come out to cry how these guys, these insurgents, parade heavy, sophisticated weapons, more deadly than what our military parade. So the answer is glaring to the eye. Our military is equipped to fight them. And not only under equipped, there is something I see playing here. We've said it over and over again. Compromise. I've had opportunity of listening to one soldier one time like that, how they will plan a move, and these guys will get information about their move and ambush them. So there is a lot of compromise amongst them. Now we saw 5 killed, 10 injured, 4 missing
in action.
Now missing, how? Where are they? These are questions that beg for answers. How did these guys, with everything we have, with all our infrastructures, military infrastructures, how did these people get? How did it happen? How did they take them unaware? We should have gotten to a point where it is our military going to their camp to invade them, not them coming to attack our military. It is well.
As well, but again, the director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward, has said that this attack is not going to discourage, the troops in counter-terrorism operations in the state and beyond. Which day were we talking about insecurity? And I think it was Mr. Abdallah, that talked about how that if state of emergency is declared in insecurity, that what is going to do is that is going to channel the focus of the Nigerian security
apparatus
to
insecurity
and to be able to tackle it head on.
Yes.
And this is just Boko Haram. We just witnessed that a new sect has come up. Aside that, we're looking at bandits also.
Yeah.
Aside that, we're looking at kidnappers, one-chance people, headsmen, a lot. Ritual killing.
Yeah.
Name it. It's high time that, this state of emergency is because losing our soldier, how many
our soldiers are being outnumbered.
Exactly.
And we are
we
losing them.
Exactly.
No, we don't need this news.
We don't. Is very sad. It's very sad because now they've reported how many of our soldiers were gone. Now they said they killed many terrorists. We don't have a number. We don't.
You remember the last story that they said they recovered cow? This whole thing is just making me laugh at the way Nigerians is handling insecurity in Nigeria. They know how to record the army, the military people that are gone, but they don't come out with the pure record of how they are fighting or how the people that they are attacking, the numbers of these people that they attack.
And Mr. Sele, we're talking about budgeting earlier on. Yes, we're rounding up. We're talking about budgeting earlier on, and we're talking about how that even in allocating the budget, that there are sectors that should be prioritized.
We talked about education.
And we talked about investing a lot in security.
Security. If we have security of life, what is happening in North, food security would be guaranteed. At least we wouldn't be where we are in terms of hunger.
Please, let's just get our last takes because this news don't already... Don't keep my morale.
Anyway, I just like what the monarch in Lagos said. I think from Lagos, just like what he said, we actually need character reformation. We need character reformation. Every Nigerian, both young and old, we need to start seeing Nigeria as a project, as a general project. Rebuilding Nigeria is not an individual thing. It takes all of us to make it work, and we have to start working.
Thank you, Kirby.
Well, just like Mr. Celeste said, just Nigerians, we should have a change of mindset towards the way we see Nigeria, and once that is done, we'll see that we can actually change Nigeria. It's something not that difficult. It's just our mindset towards Nigeria is at this point.
Thank you so much, Kirby. Thank you, Mr. Celestine. A very big thank you to you guys. I mean, your thoughts and your perspectives this morning were very amazing. And that brings us to the end of today's Bright Republic on Bright FM 98.7. A very big thank you to our callers, Mr. John from Otako, our first caller for today. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdallah. Thank you. I appreciate your call. Mr. Robert, thank you so much. Mr. Sam Oluyemi from Nasarawa, first time caller today. Thank you so much, Mr. Sam. Chief Onovo, thank you. Mr. Barra, thank you so much. And to our listeners at home, thank you so much for being part of the conversation. Please stay tuned because OB of Sports will be taking over next to give you all the latest on the world of sports. We'll be talking to you again, and that will be tomorrow.
Nigeria's brightest sound. Bright 98.